In his New York Times bestseller business book, if you like, Shirzad Chamine, the book's called Positive Intelligence, describes how we have two parts of our brain. We have a primitive survival, fight and flight mode of our brain. And then we've got the sage, the higher brain, the more rational human brain, if you like. And what happens is when we're children, they're both sort of equally powerful. However, as we get older, this primitive type side of the brain protects us through childhood and gets bigger and bigger and more used, whereas our sage brain becomes neglected if we're not careful. So what happens is the saboteur part of the brain becomes more powerful and disproportionately influential, which is why I've shown it as being bigger, and it's also lower because it's the lower brain. And these saboteur characters which exist in our heads, the main one is the judge. So the judge is the one that finds fault with yourself, with others, and with circumstances. But there's 9 other characters, if you like, who are also saboteurs. So when the judge starts to find fault and tells you can't do something, you're held back by these other ones. So the hyperachiever, which basically says that you have to carry on striving to achieve more. The pleaser, which basically says you avoid conflict. The controller, which says you won't delegate to anyone else. The victim, which sort of takes any setback personally and sort of wallows in self-pity. There's 9 of these. And what it shows is that there are techniques, ways, he calls them PQ reps, but there are techniques very similar to mindfulness and very similar to meditation, if you like, which can change your neural pathways, and neural pathways give rise to habits. So what happens is if something happens that is adverse, if you like, that's unfortunate, or that you don't like, because you're used to these saboteurs, the neural pathways to go straight into listening to these characters here, and they sort of hold you back and stop you overcoming the adversity and achieving your goals. But if you can develop the right techniques to change these neural pathways to take you up here to empathy, resourcefulness, creativity, innovation, action, you basically go into the higher brain, which actually helps you achieve your goals. And the way you can do it is by building up different habits. And it takes anything from 21 days, 3 weeks to 7 weeks to build up your mental muscles in this part of the brain to develop the new habits, which mean that you automatically go to this resourceful sage part of your brain. There's 5 sage elements here, rather than being governed by these 10 saboteurs down here. So it's really fascinating how this works. The book is obviously, very interesting and explains how it all works. And, obviously, I'm happy to have a chat with anyone as well. If you think that's interesting, you might want to be part of other people, a part of a group with other people who are also interested in developing their minds, developing their business, setting goals, achieving more, being more likely to achieve their goals. In which case you might want to have a look at businessroundtableuk.co.uk, which shows you how, by forming a small sort of advisory group with a few other non-conflicting business owners, you can explore these sort of ideas and actually set yourself more ambitious goals and be 2 to 5 times more likely to achieve them. So Bernard Keevy talking about how Shirzad Chamine explains how to overcome the saboteurs that stop you achieving your goals and would hold you back. Hope you found that useful. Thanks very much for watching.